Should I be using a protein powder? I'm Ashley Broder, your personal health, fitness, and lifestyle coach. This is a question that I get from people that are just getting started on their fitness journey, and maybe they think it's something they should be including, or maybe they've been at it for a while and they struggle to hit their protein goals and wonder if a protein powder will help them out. And so there's a couple things to consider here in terms of incorporating protein powder. First, have you exhausted all methods of trying to get protein into your diet? So are you eating meat? Maybe you're not eating meat, but if you are eating meat, can we bump that up a little bit? Maybe instead of eating a half a chicken breast, can you eat a whole chicken breast? Have we exhausted all of those ways of getting protein from food? If you're not eating meat, that can be a struggle. So finding protein sources from other protein boosters that I like to call them, beans, quinoa, things like that. Have we exhausted all of those methods? Because I really like to have people make sure that they get all their macronutrients from food first before we move on to supplements. Sometimes people think when they start a fitness, health, lifestyle journey that they need to incorporate supplements, that they need to start with a protein powder. And I think that that can be a recipe for disaster because we want to make sure that we're not doing something that's unsustainable. So in having just protein powder all the time, what if you go on vacation and that becomes difficult? Or what if it's just not available to you? You can't find one that you like. Chances are it's a lot easier to get protein sources from food. If you're on vacation, you're going to a restaurant thinking about what is the protein source can I get here? If you're at the grocery store, it's much easier to find protein sources. Also, chewing your food, eating macronutrients from your food just processes a whole lot differently in your body, and we want to take the most advantage of that. So a couple different types of proteins, if you decide to go those route, there's obviously whey protein, and then there's a bunch of like vegan type proteins that are pea protein, plant-based proteins, and other ways that they create them. The plant-based proteins can be lacking in amino acids that you might get from whey protein. So that might be the only difference that you would consider between the two. You also want to make sure you check the labels between the two, because if you are tracking your macros, or you want to make sure you're not eating too many carbs or too much fat, sometimes the plant-based can be a little heavier in carbs than a whey protein. There's also differences in whey protein between an isolate and a concentrate. So an isolate is going to have more protein, less fat, and less carbs, whereas a concentrate might have more of those. So I would also consider in choosing a protein powder, how are you using it? Are you just using it as an additional protein bump to get your protein up? In that case, then you want to have less carbs and less fat in the powder. If you're using it as a meal replacement, then it might be okay to have a few more carbs or a little more fat in there to make it more sustainable, well-rounded meal. So there's some information for you. If you decide to use protein powder, it's definitely not necessary. I've had a lot of clients that have had a lot of great success building muscle, losing fat, not using any supplements at all. But if you do choose to use them, just make sure you choose wisely. Let me know if you have any more questions about that. And I hope that was helpful. Have a great day.